Hey, what's up, everybody? One coach's opinion. And let's remember that's all it is my opinion, not a fact. So, let's talk about Crawford and Porter. Crawford's trying to add to his legacy. Shawn Porter's trying to really establish a legacy, add to it. No disrespect, Shawn Porter is a world champion. But would you say he was at the top? Well, he's probably the top echelon of 147 pounders, but in a lot of his step-ups at 147, lost to Keith Thurman, lost to Errol Spence, and lost to Kell Brook. I mean, I don't know if you say he was the top 147 pounder, but his name is up there. His name is up there. Basically, at 147, Errol Spence is the one to beat. So here comes Terrence Crawford. A lot of people ready to put him right against Spence, ready to go. But he had a few good showings at 147. What do you have? The Horn, Cavalaus. I forgot that Spence's name. My son always gets me on for that. And I think Benavidez at 47. I think Benavidez was at 47. But these were all either stepping into 47 or 147 pounders that had not made a name for themselves. Shawn Porter has fought 147 pounders that made names for themselves, and was durable and did well. Nobody slept him. I mean, Adrian dropped him like in the 12th. That was like being 147, wasn't it? Adrian got him, dropped him, but never really hurt. Pretty durable. So we'll see really if Shawn can pressure, because Crawford, let's say, has he ever been really pressured by a dominant 147? And I look at it like this: I really would take Shawn Porter over any of the guys that Terrence Crawford has beaten so far at 147. Healthy Benavidez. I mean, he goes with injuries, that knee and everything, but I don't think, he'll ever be 100% healthy again. But he might. But as of right now, I would take Shawn Porter over any of the guys that Terrence Crawford has beaten. And Shawn Porter has basically fought a heavier and more distinguished resume of fighters. So does weight make that much of a difference? We shall see. I mean, Terrence seemed to hold his own because he's rugged. He's just mean, mean kid, rugged. You just wonder if all that's gonna be able to keep Shawn Porter up off him. And that's where really the test is gonna be, right there. Has he grown? Is he bigger? Can he keep him off? If he can keep Shawn Porter off him, and Shawn Porter, and he doesn't fight Shawn Porter off the ropes, and Shawn Porter probably gonna have a bad night that night. But if Shawn Porter puts that pressure on him, keeps him on the ropes, just does Shawn Porter. If you're able to do Shawn Porter in one of Shawn Porter's fights, he's gonna be victorious. If he's able to muscle you around, out-punch you, outland you, swing, he's kind of unconventional. So the average guy, even with the slickest defense, the best way to defend Shawn Porter is to be out the way or out-punch him or land the cleaner shot. In Errol's case, I don't want to say Errol backed up and ran from him. He just landed the cleaner shots. Shawn Porter made it a good-looking fight, but he was probably in every round, but he was losing every round. He was losing a lot of rounds, if not every. And Errol was landing cleaner shots. Errol stood up to his punches. Errol's a big guy. People don't realize that Errol is a heavy guy that can make 147. And when he blows back up, you're not going to just push him around the ring, not at 147. That's why people say, well, Errol Spence is talking about fighting Canelo That's ridiculous. Depending on what weight it is, it's not that ridiculous. 154, it could very well be a good fight for a guy coming up, but who knows if Canelo ever comes back down. But just saying, Errol Spence is a big 147. Shawn was able to get in there, stand pretty much toe-to-toe. He couldn't back him up, and that might be the problem. Now, if Terrence comes in here and backs up Shawn and manhandles Shawn, that would really sell the Errol Spence fight. If Terrence comes in here and has a little bit of trouble with Shawn, or if he loses to Shawn, you can forget about the Errol Spence fight. But if he comes in here and manhandles Shawn, that could set up a good Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, big payday, one of the best 147 fights in a long time. As far as pick 'em, I guarantee you, go in any room, Terrence Crawford, if he beats Shawn Porter handily, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, you're going to have a good debate. It's going to be 50-50. I think not too many people are going to just say one person, because that's really what everybody's waiting on. This Shawn Porter fight is kind of like a test to see if Terrence Crawford belongs there, you know. And it's kind of like, okay, we'll give you Porter. I want Spence. The other side wants Spence. You know what I'm talking about if you know what I'm talking about. I tell you what. Let's see how you do against Porter. We'll give you Porter. And Porter might seal the deal and keep Terrence on the other side of the street. Who knows? So it should be a very, very good fight. Very good fight. Very entertaining. I know everybody's looking forward to it. So basically, in my gym, I bet $50 on Shawn Porter. Kind of just betting up the upset. Just trying to, you know, I'm saying maybe he muscles him, maybe he doesn't. $50. Bet it to one of the other coaches. If I'm really betting money, really betting heavy money, I would probably bet with Terrence Crawford. I mean, just on who's riding high right now, who's coming in the fight kind of with the chin in the air. You know, Shawn still, I got to prove something. You know what I'm saying? This is a proof fight for something. Be honest, if Shawn Porter loses, Terrence Crawford loses, he can go back to the drawing board. He's going to get some other chances. Shawn Porter loses, where does he go? Does he become the stepping stone? Does he become the stepping stone for 147? Shawn Porter loses, his next fight probably Jaron Ennis or something like that, to be honest. To see if he belongs. If he loses Jaron Ennis or something like that, it could be time to hang it up. It's not like he can go up in the weight classes. It's not like he wants to go down in the weight class. And he's doing a pretty good job announcing and stuff like that. And that's another career opportunities. So really, this is kind of like sort of like a make or break fight for him, to be honest. You know? And I know people can say, well, he's a world champion. Nah, he'll still, yeah, he can fight. But he can't go up to 154. And if he loses to another top 147, I mean, his career will be the same, but he might want to, you know, if he's making good money, he might want to kind of slide back and let his career live. Or he might stick around. I'm not saying that. It might just be the fighter in him. The businessman might say, hey man, let's make some changes. But the fighter in him might say, no, we still fighting. Who knows? But this is kind of like a make or break fight for him. Crawford, on the other hand, he can get a second chance. He get a chance to find where he belongs. You know, so one coach's opinion. We'll go with that. One coach's opinion. Tell me what y'all think. It's really kind of like a hard fight to just pick a guy with. But if I had to pick somebody, I would pick Terrence Crawford. I would handily bet on the upset. If, you know, especially if I'm looking at some good odds against Shawn Porter, I would definitely take it, you know, and bet with Shawn Porter. But as far as now, my official thing, I'm going with Terrence Crawford. But I do think that Shawn Porter has a hell of a chance of doing something in this fight. One coach's opinion. Tell me what you think. Shawn Porter, Terrence Crawford, who you got?